Hey guys, it's John on a dirty bike again, here on my Vulcan 900. You've met this bike before, you've met me before, hopefully. If not, welcome. It could use a bath, but just got back from a 4-day trip, haven't washed it yet. Going to run a little riding around. And I wanted to talk about something that most moto-vloggers do a video on, and there's some really good information out there. There's also some really bad information out there, and that's countersteering. Maybe I'll have the words flying across that. Anyway, so countersteering basically is, if you've never heard about it before, is the way you control a motorcycle. Now, if you say, I don't countersteer, I say, yes, you do. You just don't know you are. So what countersteering is it's all about harnessing and understanding how the bike is being operated to the point that you can have excellent control over your motorcycle. So, what is countersteering? Well, basically, quick little lesson, the front wheel's spinning. It's creating a gyroscope effect, and so that's why you can do this. Because the front wheel stays right where it wants to stay up. The bike wants to stay up, the handlebars want to stay straight. Unless a force acts on it, they want to stay in this position until you get real slow. They're working against you. If you've ever ridden your bike, you notice the faster you get, the firmer the bars get. When you're stopped, I mean, they'll go anywhere. But when you get moving, they become very firm, very stiff. And that's where countersteering comes in. What we're doing when we countersteer is we're leaning the bike. But the way we lean the bike is by using the same principle that wants to keep the bike straight, and we use that against it. So the way we use it against it is we push the bars the opposite direction we want to go. So if we want to go left, we push left. If we want to go right, we push right. And that makes the bike lean. It makes the bike lean by upsetting the gyroscope effect of that front wheel. Now, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with 3 things that are wrong. Okay? We'll get to the right, but we'll start with the wrong. So 3 things that people get wrong about countersteering. The first one is that countersteering is only for tight curves or for swerving. So they say that you somehow shift your body and try and control the bike every other time, and you only use countersteering if you have to swerve or if you're going around a tight corner, which I'm not going to be up here. So, well, that's wrong, because countersteering is for use any time you control the bike above about 12 or 15 miles an hour or so. Any time. Even just keeping my position in lane right here. You shouldn't be using your body or your feet or anything else. You see what I'm doing right here, this is kind of how I always ride. I've got my hand around my little throttle rocker here. It keeps my hand from cramping up. And so, with just 2 fingers, I can keep the bike where I want it to go with 2 fingers. 2 fingers, and the bike is right in the spot in the lane I want to go. So on a group ride, that's really helpful because, if I'm over here on one side of the lane, I can stay in that side of the lane, no matter if I'm going around corners or whatever. I can stay right where I want the bike to go. My gosh, look at that. Turn signal again. Second video. Something about putting on the camera makes me forget my turn signal. Okay, so that's the first one, is that it's only for use in certain conditions. That's absolutely false. It's for use all the time. If you master countersteering, you'll have incredible control over your motorcycle, and you'll be able to put it exactly where you want it to go. The other problem is, if you're using it all the time, if you're always countersteering, if countersteering is the only way you know how to move your bike around, then the neat side effect is, when those instances do happen, when somebody decides to pull out in front of you, or when an animal pulls and jumps out in front of you, or anything else like that, it's built in. You just swerve. You do it quickly. You do it way faster than you can possibly do it just with your body weight. In a minute, I'm going to go on the interstate here, and I'm going to show you what countersteering looks like on the interstate. And the interstate's a great place to demonstrate countersteering because it'll show you just how easy it is, even at high speed. So I'm going to pop my visor down. That way you can hear me pretty good. Hopefully this doesn't, I meant to keep it down the whole time. Hopefully that doesn't change the audio quality too much. Let me know how you think it sounds, if I can leave my visor open or if I should keep it closed, because I know it sounds differently because I've experimented with it. Okay, so the second myth about countersteering is what I call the underestimating your intelligence theory. And basically what that is that's MSF instructors, other moto vloggers, and even people just perpetuating what they've been told, will think that you aren't going to understand the concept of countersteering, so they dumb it down for you. And they want you to understand that the bike leans. They want you to understand that's how it turns. They want you to understand that ultimately it's leaning the motorcycle that makes it turn. So they tell you all these things about how to do it, and they tell you to use your feet. They tell you to shift your weight. It's just not right. The big one, though, is they tell you to push down. All right? They tell you to push down to go left, push down right to go right, as if pushing down is somehow going to break all the laws of physics and make the bike lean. So, but if you push down, nothing happens. I can push down all I want. Nothing is going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Because pushing down on the bars doesn't do anything except bend the bars. However, what I can do is take one index finger. You know what, we'll go right here because I can get off here. I've got my hand on my throttle, but I'm just going to take one finger, and look at this, coming up, coming up, coming up. Look at that, one finger, and I can pull back on it. I mean, look at that. How easy it is to control the bike just by grabbing onto my little throttle rocker. And it works even at slow speeds. It's pushing. You are, in fact, turning the bars. But you're just turning them at so little, it doesn't look like you're turning them. So we're just going to kind of roll around here. Nothing exciting, just around the outer roads kind of stuff. I'll get you some more interesting videos and some more interesting places soon, but, you know, I just want to do this one real quick on Countersteering. So, you know, you do it all the time, and you do it, so, you know, not very sharp curve, but easy. But you do it by pushing on the bars, not pushing down, pushing forward. And the important concept here is you have to understand that you need to let the bike do the work for you. That's the whole point here. The point here, folks, is that you need to let the bike work for you. Don't manhandle the bike. Don't be shoving your weight around trying to get the bike to do what you want. That's slow. It's inaccurate. You cannot track the bike the way you can with countersteering. The only way you should be turning your bike, the only way you should be controlling your bike is with the handlebar, using countersteering to put the bike exactly where you want it to go. Because let me tell you right now, I don't mean to step on any toes, but if you can't put your bike exactly where you want it to be every single time, you don't have control of your bike. If you have trouble holding it in your spot and lane, if you can't imagine a line going around a corner and keep your bike on it, if you find yourself going around corners and drifting over the white line or drifting over the yellow line, or you find yourself drifting back and forth in a lane when you're riding, I'm exaggerating here just to show you, but you see it all the time, especially in group rides. I can see ahead enough to do this. So, you know, we see that. Oh, yeah, that's the bad one. You know, see them drifting over the line and everything else because they're trying to shift the weight around on their bike. And maybe they're on a long trip and they've added weight to the bike with luggage. Or maybe they have a passenger they haven't ridden with before. All these things don't matter if you're countersteering because you have such a fantastic control over your bike. You can just put the bike exactly where you want it to go. And that's what it's all about. So, it's going to be a short video, kind of leave it at that. I'm going to do another video here quickly, but I was going to do it kind of a two-part thing. I'm not going to do that, though, because I think my videos are getting a little too long. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you think they're too long or too short. So those are my, I said three, I'm sorry. Those are my two things that are wrong about countersteering and what to do about them. So, again, do it all the time and push. Let me tell you, it's easy. If you've got questions, ask me. I'll answer them in the comments below. I'll do another video to show you. It works the same whether you're going around tight corners. It works the same whether you're at low speed. You just push. And you know what? One of the cool things is if you get in a situation where all of a sudden you're in a corner like this. Now, this one is a low-speed corner because, you know, you enter it from an almost stop. But let's say you hit a corner like that at a little bit more speed. You know, it's real sharp. Well, what do you do if you lean your body? You lean your body some more, but your body can only move the bike so much. But if you lean your body in conjunction with the handlebars, you can keep pushing. The harder you push, the more it leans. It's linear. It's just like turning your car. You turn the wheel more, it turns more. You push the bars more, excuse me, the bike leans more every time. So if you get around a sharp corner, it's coming up and you, oh no, corner, you just push, and the bike goes over. All the way up until you hit the pegs. Let me tell you, it's a lot of fun when you get to the point where you can hit some pegs. So, all right, guys, practice. And I don't know if you're looking at this for the first time. Maybe you're thinking about riding a motorcycle, and you want to know how. That's how. Steer anyway. I'll do more stuff on how to ride. Or maybe you've been riding motorcycle for 119 years, and you've just been throwing your weight around. Well, no, you actually haven't. I mean, unless you've really been doing that, like really throwing your weight around, it's not been working. What you've been doing is, I hear a lot of people talking about putting with their hands and their legs. They've been pushing like that and making it turn. Let me tell you what you're really doing. A little bit's your weight, but a lot of it is actually you're pushing forward on the bars to steady yourself, and you don't even notice it. It's one of those cause-effect things. So you're wasting all kinds of energy here and doing all kinds of wasted things when this was all the force or effort it actually took to ride the motorcycle. I mean, that's all it took. You push with one finger, boom, it's over. I mean, couldn't get any easier. And I mean, I can lean off to the right and make the bike go left, which also means I don't have to have a co-pilot. One of my pet peeves is, people when they have a passenger, they have to give them all sorts of instructions. You got to lean this way, you got to do this, you got to do that. My passengers, when they ride, they just have to sit still, because I'm going to want to be the one riding the motorcycle, not them. And I don't need to be guessing about where they're going to be or what they're going to do when an animal jumps out in front of me or I hit a curve that's sharper than I thought it was going to be. Countersteering, again, helps you to manage that because you know what's going on, you know what's happening, and you're able to control it. So that's countersteering. Again, you got questions, ask them in the comments below. All right, guys, God bless. I'll talk to you later. Be on the lookout for my next video. I'm going to be talking about surviving the interstate. Interstate riding is boring as all get out, and I highly disrecommend it because it's boring as all get out, but it was something that was asked, so I'm just going to head on the interstate and show you my tips for staying comfortable on really long interstate rides. All right, God bless. I'll talk to you later.